For nearly 8 years, Daniel Foster lived by the same routine. Wake up at 6 o'clock, prepare breakfast, help his daughter Emma get ready for school, work a full day, come home and do it all again. Being a single father wasn't easy, but Daniel never complained. After losing his wife when Emma was only 2 years old, he dedicated his life to raising her. Money was often tight. Unexpected expenses arrived at the worst times. Yet, Daniel always found a way forward. What nobody knew was that every month without fail, he donated a small portion of his income to a children's medical foundation. The amount wasn't large. Sometimes it was only $20. Sometimes $50. But he never missed a month. The foundation helped families whose children needed expensive medical treatments. Daniel had chosen the charity years earlier because doctors once fought desperately to save his wife. Although they couldn't save her, he never forgot their kindness. One afternoon, after finishing work, Daniel took Emma to a downtown cafe. It was one of their favorite places. Emma sat across from him working on a school project while Daniel reviewed paperwork. The cafe was crowded. Most tables were occupied. A few minutes later, a woman entered wearing simple clothes and sunglasses. Despite her effort to remain unnoticed, several customers recognized her immediately. Her name was Victoria Sinclair. She was one of the youngest billionaires in the country and CEO of Sinclair Global Holdings. People often described her as brilliant, ambitious, and private. After looking around, she noticed the cafe was full. Only one empty chair remained. The seat across from Daniel and Emma. Victoria approached politely. "Excuse me." Daniel looked up. "Yes? Can I sit with you?" Emma smiled. "Sure." Victoria laughed softly. "Thank you." She took the seat. At first, nobody spoke much. Emma continued her project. Daniel reviewed paperwork. Victoria answered a few emails. Then Emma broke the silence. "My dad says people should never eat cake alone." Victoria smiled. "Is that so?" Daniel shook his head. "I may have said something like that." Emma pushed a small dessert toward Victoria. "You can share ours." Victoria couldn't remember the last time a stranger had offered her something so sincerely. "Thank you." As the conversation continued, she found herself enjoying their company. There was no pressure, no business discussions, no one asking for favors, just a father and daughter enjoying time together. For Victoria, it felt refreshing. Weeks later, she unexpectedly crossed paths with Daniel again at a charity event. This time she recognized his name on a donor list. At first, it meant nothing. Then curiosity led her to review donation records. What she discovered surprised her. Daniel Foster had donated every month for nearly 8 years. The amounts were modest, yet his consistency was remarkable. Many wealthy donors gave large amounts once or twice. Daniel had quietly supported the foundation year after year, never seeking recognition, never attending fundraising galas, never asking for credit. Victoria became intrigued. The foundation happened to be one she personally funded. In fact, she had built much of its expansion through her family's charitable network. She requested additional records. The staff confirmed what she already suspected. Daniel had never missed a single month, even during years when his financial situation appeared difficult. Victoria was deeply moved. Most people assume generosity belonged to the wealthy. Daniel proved otherwise. A few days later, she invited him and Emma to visit the foundation's children's center. As they toured the facility, Emma admired colorful murals, while Daniel listened to stories from families whose children had received treatment. One mother described how the foundation paid for her son's surgery. Another shared how it covered medication costs during a difficult period. Daniel smiled quietly. He never expected to meet the people his donations helped. Then Victoria led him into a small conference room. Several foundation directors were waiting. Daniel looked confused. "Did I miss something?" Victoria smiled. "No." She placed a folder on the table. Inside were copies of every donation he had made. Daniel stared at them. "You kept records." "We keep records of every gift." His expression softened. "I wasn't expecting this." Victoria nodded. "I know." Then she said something that left him speechless. "For years you've been one of our most important donors." Daniel laughed. "I think you're confusing me with someone else." She shook her head. "No." He looked puzzled. "My donations were tiny." Victoria smiled. "Individually, yes." She paused. "But generosity isn't measured by size." The room became quiet. You gave when it was difficult. Her eyes filled with emotion. You gave when nobody was watching. Daniel didn't know what to say. For years he had believed his contributions barely mattered. Now he understood otherwise. As they left the building later that afternoon, Emma slipped her hand into her father's. Dad? Yes? Are you famous now? Daniel laughed. No. Emma thought for a moment. Then she smiled. Good. Why? Because you're still my dad. Victoria overheard and smiled. After building billion-dollar companies and meeting countless powerful people, she realized something important. True generosity wasn't found in boardrooms or headlines. Sometimes it was found in a hard-working single father who quietly gave what he could for years, expecting nothing in return. Story end.